Hey, everybody. Welcome to this episode of The Spark. Hope you're doing fantastic on today and hope that everything is moving in the right direction for you, that you are getting after it, getting better day by day, improving day by day, and building the life that you want. My name is Coach David. I'm happy that you are here with me, whether you're viewing this live or you're viewing this through replay. I am super excited that you are here with me. Give me 1 second. All right, that's a little better. Okay, so thank you so much once again for joining me. And listen, today I am going to be wrapping up this series that we've been talking about, what to do about snipers and haters. Oh my goodness. And if you have not faced snipers and haters, that's the term I coined for those people who like to take cheap shots at you. If you haven't faced them or you haven't had a hater, that's somebody who just has anger towards you for no significant reason. You didn't do anything to them. But anyway, if you haven't faced them, just keep living, because sooner or later, everyone faces those people. They face snipers and they face haters. So we said that what we were going to do is simply ignore them. In other words, we're going to refuse to acknowledge them, and we're going to do this intentionally. Now, some people have said, well, wait a minute, you can't just, yes, you can. You can refuse to acknowledge the haters and the snipers and their little quips and what they try to do. You can act like it doesn't even exist, and you can disregard all of that intentionally. So we came up with a word. We said, since we're talking about ignore them, what we did, we used the word ignore and we broke it down step by step by step. Today happens to be the final lesson in what we're dealing with. We dealt with the I, which we said I am. I have to know who I am. When it comes to snipers and it comes to haters, I got to know that. Then we said what we were going to do, the G, give up and gain control. In other words, I'm going to get in control of the things that I can control, because all those things out there, I cannot control them. But what goes on internally inside of me, oh, yes, I'm in full control, or I can be in full control of those things. Then we said the end was going to be nothing negative, because we understood something. One, negativity is addictive. It's very addictive. Then if we're not careful, negativity in one area of our life will breed over into another area of our life. And then finally, the C of that is that negativity costs me something. So that's the ABCs of no negativity. We don't want it to be addictive. We don't want it to breed more. And we definitely don't want it to cost us anything. Then when we went to the O, we said, hey, listen, we have to be oblivious to the opinions of others. In other words, your opinion of me, that's none of my business. So I'm oblivious to it. And yet, then last week we talked about the R. Yes, we said we were going to take the step of refusing to revenge. In other words, we're not going to retaliate. We're not going to look for retribution. We are going to reason, and we understand that we are in control of that. This week, we're going to talk about the E, and this one is powerful. This one kind of brings it all home. I call this one empowering emotions. Now, we know, oh my goodness, we know that we can become very emotional creatures if we're not careful. Listen, when a hater or a sniper comes at you, all right, it brings about something out of you. We got to learn how to handle that something that could come out of us, called our emotions. Our emotions is nothing but a conscious mental reaction. I'll give you an example. Something is said that makes you joyous, makes you happy. Likewise, something can be said that can make you angry. It's just a conscious mental state. And emotions are controlled or caused by the situation that we find ourselves in. If we're in a good situation, we're joyous and happy. Okay. Everybody's got them. Everybody has emotions. But the thing that's so key, and what I want to get across to you on today, is what you do, or what you allow those emotions to do to you or through you. I'm going to say it again. What you allow your emotions to do to or through you, because you are in control of your emotions. Now, I hear people say this all the time, and I want to talk about this. We hear people say, they made me. No, they didn't make you because you're in control of you. They made me mad. They made me upset. They made me cry. No one can make you anything without your permission. So you gave them permission for you to be in that certain situation. If you gave them permission to put you in that certain situation, guess what else you can do? You can take that control back. You can take that permission back and say, no, no, no. You do not have a place in my life to affect my emotions in such a way that they do something that I should not do. Now, we said what you got to be careful of is what we allow our emotions to do or how we put those emotions out. So I termed something called code red. Now, code red means this right here, what you can do with your emotions. Number one, the R, you can repress your emotions. The E, you can express your emotions. And the D of red, you can direct your emotions. And what I want to get you to, I want to get you to a point where you're directing your emotions and you're not repressing them and you're not expressing them down a negative path. Let me share with you what I'm talking about. If you repress your emotions, what happens a lot of time, it has a negative effect on your mental and your physical well-being. Holding stuff in and coming to a boiling point and then boiling over or exploding is not good for you mentally or physically. So we don't repress our emotions. We have emotions for a reason. If we weren't supposed to have them, we would not have them. If we weren't supposed to be, operating through our emotions, we wouldn't have them. It's that feeling we have. Now, so we don't want to repress anything. And I don't want to teach you, just suck it up, just hold it in and all this other kind of stuff that you may hear. And even myself, I've used that sometimes. But the truth of the matter is you got to learn repressing emotions, especially the negative ones, is not good for you. It's just not. Now, the second thing you can do, you can express your emotions. Like, hey, I'm happy, I'm joyous, I can get loud and rambunctious and jump and shout and everything. I was watching a show just last evening, and this one guy, he was expressing his emotions and everything, but, he's a 30-some-year-old man acting like a 3-year-old with his emotions. So it just depends on how and what is expressed is what I'm trying to get across. You can express your emotions, and you can do that in a very positive way. But this is the one I really want you to get from Code Red. I want you to direct your emotions. What do you mean? I mean, you can control your emotions. Yes, you can. You can direct your emotions in such a way because they are yours. You're in control of them if you allow yourself to be. You don't have to fly off the handle. You don't have to get ugly with people. You don't have to give people a piece of your mind. You don't have to do any of that. You can control your emotions. And today, by wrapping this series of lessons up, I'm going to share with you how you can do that. And so what I did, once again, I just took the word control because I want to give you some things that I believe will help you learn how to direct your emotions so that you don't allow your emotions to direct you. Because a lot of times that's what happens to people. They get into a situation and they allow their emotions to take over. And before you know it, they're doubling down on a bad position. And what they're doing, they're causing themselves even more problems. So let's talk about how to direct our emotions. We're going to use the word control. And we're going to start with the letter C. Okay, when we say C, C means consider. Now, I want to say something, and I don't want you to get upset with me, but listen closely to what I have to share. Many of our pains that we go through are self-inflicted by our view of things, how we see things. How you view the sniper, how you view the hater, how you view the comments, how you view the action. A lot of times it can, if you don't view it in the right perspective, you can inflict pain upon yourself that you could otherwise not even, because remember we said we're going to intentionally disregard it. So I want you to consider what's going on. Now let's talk about the O. The O is observe. Look at it for what it is. Observe it. Just look at it for what it is. It's coming from a hater. It's coming from a sniper. Haters hate. That's their job. Haters hate. Snipers take shots at you. Consider it. Just look at it. Consider it, then observe it and say, this is just what it is. It's supposed to be like that. Now, no, I'm not saying that people are supposed to be intentionally hating against you and sniping against you, but I'm just saying if you observe and say, that's what they do. And that puts you in a power position. You understand that. Now, here's the end. The end is negotiate. What do you mean? Find a way over or through this. I like this. You have to learn to adapt and overcome and drive on. You got to negotiate. It's like negotiating an obstacle. The sniper or the hater is just an obstacle in the way that you have to negotiate. And if you will take your time and you will consider and you will observe, you will find a way over or through. I've had this situation many times in my life. I had a situation just this past week. I sent someone an email and I asked them a simple question about something that I desired from their company. Now, instead of them just saying, yes, this is what's available and everything, they came back with me like, let's have a sit down and talk about. Well, I didn't want to have a sit down and talk about. I just wanted you to answer my question. And so now I got to learn how to negotiate this. I got to find a way over or through because I need this. I know I need it. But when I did that, guess what? It wasn't a day or two later, something else fell into my hands, the very answer that I was looking at. I didn't get mad at him. I didn't get upset with him. And I didn't have an appointment with him so we could sit down and talk. I considered, I observed, and I negotiated it. And I found a way over it. I found a way through it. Boy, that excites me. Now, the next word, the next letter, the T, temper. Temper means how hard or how much plasticity something happens. Okay, you got to neutralize the effect of the hater and the sniper. What do you mean? You just got to learn like, okay, hey, we used to have a saying when I was growing up. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you throw at me bounces off me and sticks to you. Now, I know that's like a little childish fairy quip or whatever you want to call it, a little anecdote of the child. But it's true. You got to learn to be resistant and rubber to a lot of stuff and just let it hit and bounce off. Don't be hard because then it might break you. It might crack you or something like that. Learn to temper it. Here's the R, regulate. Regulate means this right here. You set the effect that the snipers and hater have upon you. You're regulating that. Remember what I said from the very beginning. Many things are self-inflicted. Why? By the way we view it. But you can regulate that. If you say, hey, I'm going to disregard this intentionally, you're regulating it. And now, once again, you're in the power position. That's what you have to learn to do. Here's the O, the next O, omit. Intentionally leave it alone. Boy. So many things are begging for you to get involved. And it's like the good guy on this shoulder, the bad guy on this shoulder. The good guy is like, relax, chill out. The bad guy's like, go get him, And so what you got to learn to do is certain things, you just have to intentionally leave it alone. Don't get involved with it. You know that there's the good guy and the bad guy, and they're both talking in each ear. You know how to omit things, disregard it, refuse to acknowledge it, and move on. And then here's the L. The L is logic. Correctly see the attack for what it is. And no, it means nothing. Haters do this to everybody. It doesn't mean anything to you. Snipers take shots at everybody. It's not just you. It's everybody that they're doing this to. If you use a little logic and you correctly see the attack for what it is, you know that it means nothing. This is what they do. And so this is what they do. I am in control. And boy, I'll tell you something right now. Now, if you take that and you work with that and everything that we've talked about in this series of lessons, when you control your emotions, you have empowered yourself. Yes, you have. And that's what I want for you. So remember, empower yourself. Take control of your emotions. I didn't say repress them. I didn't say express them necessarily. I said direct them. You control them. And when you do that, great things, great things, great things. So I am super excited to wrap this series up today and give it to you as a whole package. Go back and look at it over and over and over again, because the truth of the matter is you got snipers and you got haters out there, and they're going to take shots at you, and they're going to harbor some anger towards you. But now you're empowered. You know what to do. All right, this has been Coach David. I hope this has blessed you tremendously. If it has, please share this with someone. And remember this right here. Remember this, because this is so true. You are the architect of your life. You're in control. And Coach David believes in you. I believe in you. I'll see you next week. You have a great one. Bye.